This could well be the best affordable dive watch of 2023, but is it worth paying a little bit extra for titanium? Let's get into it. Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Today we've got another show on Citizen. Yeah! In 2023, finding a watch under £200 that is divers certified, so an actual diver's tool watch,
is nigh on impossible.
The first automatic watch I ever bought was the SKX 009, and it was the foundation that led me to spend thousands more pounds on blooming watches. At the point I was at a crossroads, because today's watch was the SKX's rival at the time. I could have gone Citizen, but I chose Seiko. I'm pretty sure at the time it's probably because of two reasons. One, I don't think I liked the fact the crown was on the wrong side. And two, I don't think I was that keen of having a watch with a pair of pants at 12 o'clock. Now, we all wanted an upgrade on the SKX. Instead of doing that, Seiko discontinued it. But Seiko's rival, the Citizen Promaster, they listened to its wearers. And instead of discontinuing their watch, they upgraded the movement. A big thank you to Joma Shop, who has sent in this Citizen Promaster for me today. You can find thousands of amazing watches you and I love at a very good price. Just take into account import tax. So the watch I'm showing you today costs only £158, has an in-house mechanical automatic movement, and is ISO certified. That means this watch, this structure, has been tested in atmospheric pressure far greater than 200 meters. Finding all that for under £200 in 2023
is nigh on impossible.
So anyway, I'm going to show you this watch, then I'm going to compare it to the titanium beauty I reviewed a couple of weeks back, and tell you which one I think you should buy. Also, don't forget, you'll find out which watch my wife liked the best. Oh God. Are you Promaster ready? Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the NY0085-86E, and it just looks like a proper tool watch, doesn't it? Built for purpose.
No thrills.
Yet to me this watch sure does mean business. The finishing of this stainless steel is quite interesting. We have a mixture of polishing, radial brushing, but the bezel, that's bead blasted. Now for me, that's another sign that Citizen have made this watch for a purpose. The bead blasted texture means you're going to have a better grip on that bezel. And even though it might look a little bit weird compared to the actual case, I think that's an extra diver's detail not many reviewers tell you about. But first impressions, this watch is a tool watch, it looks like a tool watch, and it's going to perform like a tool watch. We have a mineral glass protecting the dial. For the price of this watch, it's acceptable, isn't it? So like I said at the start, this watch is ISO divers certified, and because of that we have a very good screw-in crown at 8, which is weird, but yeah, and a screw-in case back, and that gives this watch 200 meters of water resistance. But as it is ISO certified, it will do depths way below that, just in case you're wondering. The bezel is very synonymous to Citizen. We got a loom pip on the bezel with an aluminium insert with the 4 teeth spacer pattern. Like I said, because of the texture of the bead blastedness, the grip is very good. 60 clicks, unidirectional. Have a listen. That's very good, isn't it? Solid. A good, honest bezel. Hardly to any back play at all. Lovely jubbly.
Get your watch out.
Right, let's look at the face.
Dial time.
So very similar to the titanium version, we have silver framed indices. Could be applied, but could be embossed. Whatever they are, they do stand out well from that black dial. I like the fact on this watch we have a matching date wheel to the dial colour. Although it's not as black as the dial, it doesn't overpower the whole look. I do love the big chunky handset. One thing I don't like though, on a seconds hand, a counterbalance loom. I'd much rather love the loom at the end of the point, the end of the tip, to be ISO certified. The seconds hand does need to be loomed, but all this is going to show the diver is that the watch is running. Whereas if it was on the tip, well, you could time your dive to the second. Inside the watch we have an 8204 Miyota in-house movement. Citizen do own Miyota. 21,600 beats per hour, 21 joules. And the big thing for me, this watch does hack and hand wind. Although because it's on the left at 8 o'clock, it's very counterintuitive to me. And to unscrew it and screw it, I've been flipping it upside down.
It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
The watch is running 5 seconds fast, which is way in their tolerances. I'm pretty chuffed.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and I would say this potentially fits better than my SKX did, mainly because of the lug width. 20mm is such a better size to me than 22, but I really like this on the wrist. It's comfortable, and that is with this cheapy feeling bracelet. Overall though, I really like the fit, and it's another proof to people out there you can still buy an iconic watch for not a lot of money. Now comes the comparison between steel and super titanium. So let's get the price out the way. On Germashop, the steel version is £158 and the titanium version is £278, which is £120 more than the steel. So do I feel that this watch has £100 more in it than this one? The stainless steel version is 140 grams, whereas the titanium is 111 grams. So almost 30 grams lighter. I like feeling the heft of my watch, and in my brain, I always think that if something is lighter, it's probably cheaper.
So this really hurts my brain.
For anyone that wants to wear these watches for sport, the titanium one may be your ticket. Now let's look at the finishing, because most of the time, titanium can't be polished and decorated like stainless steel can.
Not with super titanium.
Because Citizen has managed to mimic the same styling as the stainless steel. You can see that titanium does have a more duller look than stainless steel. I think it actually works quite well with this green of the dial and the bezel, but for me, I'm still a stainless steel fan. Titanium just looks dull, which is maybe why Citizen tried to zhuzh it up a bit on the bracelet, giving it those polished mid-links. And so let's talk about the bracelets. In terms of jingly jangliness, the stainless steel, titanium. It's the stainless steel that comes out on top, which isn't a good thing. It feels cheaper, it looks cheaper. We've got rolled links, hollow end links, whereas the titanium version, we've got solid end links and solid links with pin and collars. However, on the stainless steel version, we have female end links, which means the bracelet drops from the case, which is what I like, and you will too if you are a small wrister. We've got male end links on the titanium, but they do drop down rather well. The other thing I like with the stainless steel is the bracelet tapers. The titanium one doesn't, and makes the watch look quite chunky on my wrist. Talking of chunky, look at the clasps. The titanium one is huge. It's a far better made clasp. We've got a scissored milled clasp. It doesn't feel massively refined, but a hell of a lot more refined than the stainless steel one. But it's a good old-fashioned pull-out clasp, and it's pressed. Also, it's very wobbly. I think I've even broken it. There you go. The saving grace on this clasp is the diver's extension, which is basically a micro adjust. And for me, and the price of the watch, I think that's a great bonus. You don't get on the fly adjustment on the titanium, but you do get 3 micro adjusts. Next up, something I don't do very often, the torture test. Just how tough is super titanium with a Duratect coating to its stainless steel counterpart? Well, for the sake of this review, I was prepared to damage these watches. Using my trusty Bergeon 6767, could I make a mark on one of the links? So without really applying too much pressure, I was able to put a big dirty scratch on the stainless steel link. Now onto the titanium link, I was still able to get a mark or a scratch on it, but it didn't look as dirty or deep as the stainless steel one. For anyone that saw the review of the titanium watch, I damaged the clasp, knocking it against my seatbelt. And it just goes to show, super titanium ain't that super when it comes to toughness and seatbelts. So what that tells me, titanium, its main feature for me is the weight. Now I've saved the most important factor till last.
Important for me.
It's the bezel action. Dive watches with titanium bezels tend to be a bit loose and a bit light because they are light, but this one's pretty good. But for me, the best bezel action definitely goes to the stainless steel version. Just have a look at this. Listen. Much more deeper sounding clicks. I can feel the ratchet more. For anyone that loves a bezel action, it's the stainless steel one for the win. Super! Both watches have the same movement, they have the same loom. Is the Titanium Promaster worth £120 more than the stainless steel version? It's a tough one, but I would say no. I would pick the stainless steel version. I'm old school. I like something hefty on the wrist. The bezel action was better. Plus, I saved myself a few quid, don't I? For anyone interested in either of these watches, you really can't go wrong. Also, for anyone that's interested in potentially buying an expensive titanium watch like a Pelagos 39, try out a more affordable titanium first, because 30 grams is quite a big difference. Here it is, my wife's thoughts on which watch you should buy. Oh, not the pants one again. Why have you got two now? Please don't tell me you've bought this. If I had to choose, it would have to be the black one, stainless steel one, because it just doesn't look as blingy as the other one. But they're both horrible. There you go, definitive from the wife. Wow, another Citizen show. That's pretty good, isn't it? If you want more of the Mad Watch Collector show, click here and join. That would be lovely. If you want some merch, got some great merch down here. Get a mug and then send a picture to me of you using it, you know? Also, if I've got you for a few more minutes, check this beast out. This is a beautiful show. Go on, click it. Go on, click it. Click it!